Alright, time for this month's alcohol brush marker review. I found these on Amazon. They are a brand called Caliart. And to my knowledge, this set of 50 is the entire range of markers. 49 colors and a colorless blender. And it comes in this handy little carrying case. So we'll start with swatches. This set has a pretty solid range of colors, I think. Certainly enough to get started with. And the brush tips are nice on first impression. Not too soft, though they aren't as firm as I would necessarily like either, but I do like a very firm marker tip, so take that with a grain of salt, as you will. The bleed stress test shows that these bleed a little heavier than average. They went through a full sheet and spotted onto a second sheet, so beware of that. If you use these, you will need 2 bleed sheets behind what you're working on just to be safe. For blendability, the yellow, orange, red gradient was just beautiful. I had really high hopes for these after seeing that. The complementary blend was also quite good, the orange and blue making a fine transition into one another, I thought. And the push test did a great job too. The yellow marker moved the purple out of the way, no problem. It also blended very well with both the Prismacolor and Faber-Castell colored pencils, though it may have done very slightly better with the wax-based Prismacolors as opposed to the oil-based Faber-Castell pencils, which is honestly pretty normal if my other reviews have been any indication. Moving on to reactions, the colorless blender worked much the same as the push test, so no new revelations there. The other reactions were quite lackluster. Even the acetone didn't produce much of an effect with these markers, certainly not like others I have tried out in this series, such as the Uchida Le Plume markers. Anyway, as for line variation, these weren't too bad. Even after pushing hard on the tip to make wide lines, the nib still straightened out and allowed for thin lines afterwards. However, since the nibs aren't very firm, the lines weren't quite as thin as others before have been. But that's all. Now all that's left is the Fineliner test. I went with Gom from Hunter x Hunter, which is funny because Killua is actually my favorite character, but there were several greens in this set. Not disproportionately so or anything, but enough that they caught my attention. And since I do try to tailor the character choices for the Fineliner tests to the available colors in a set, I figured that he would be a good choice. As always, I am testing 8 Fineliners: Prismacolor, Zebra Brush Pen, Copic Multiliner SP, Unipin Fineliner, Faber-Castell, Staedtler, Sakura Pigma Micron, and India ink. I allowed everything to dry for my standard hour before erasing the sketch in the middle, just over the parts where I had actually inked, and started coloring.
My bags packed, timeline on track. My winter coat stuck in the closet way back. I won't be needing that. I won't be needing that. I'm ready to fly down 65, hit the coastline in the sunshine. I'm going to find my new high, hit the coastline in the sunshine. It's only blue skies on my horizon line, so far from the hurt and the bad times. I'm feeling so alive, I'm feeling so alive. Yeah. I'm ready to fly down 65, hit the coastline in the sunshine. Free.
Unsurprisingly, the India ink smudged even after the hour-long dry time wait. However, usually if a liner is going to smudge with any of these alcohol markers, it's gonna be the India ink. The Zebra brush pen also seemed to smudge a little bit, though not as badly as the India ink. And the Sakura Pigma Micron, while not smudging necessarily, did get oddly faint in some spots if I went over them a few times. So I wasn't sure exactly what to make of that. All in all, these markers weren't too bad, though I did notice the ones I used more often, such as the skin tones and the greens mostly, did start to have their tips break down a little bit and become a bit softer. They're still absolutely usable, unlike the chameleon pens or the hashtag coloring markers that basically died after one illustration. So that was encouraging. However, I don't think they'd last more than a handful of artworks, so I still don't think I'd recommend these unless you really just wanted a cheap way to try out alcohol brush markers and decide if they are for you. Anyway, as always, I will have my information and rating cards at the end of this video, so stay tuned for those. Please like and subscribe if you like these alcohol brush marker reviews, and let me know if there are any brush markers that you would like to see a review on. The only stipulations are they have to be alcohol-based ink, and they have to advertise having an actual brush tip. They can have a dual end with a second end being a bullet or chisel end or whatever else, but at least one end has to be a brush tip. Oh, also, speaking of brush tip alcohol markers, don't forget that if you are watching this before July 15th, 2020, head on over to my huge Copic marker giveaway, where you can win one of 12 prize packages, each containing Copic sketch markers, a crescent-rendered no-bleed drawing pad, and lots of other fun goodies. Well, I guess that's all for now. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!